Hi everyone, Scott of the Scottman, and we are here to do a drive video today. First video I've recorded here in my home state of Michigan in quite a while. So I've filmed so many videos in Texas lately that I haven't had a chance to film much at all here in Michigan. I think the last video I filmed here in the state was probably, the last driving video was the US-24 Telegraph Road video I did in Oakland County. And then the last vlog or anything I did in Michigan would have been that health restaurant tour I did back in December. At least for when I recorded that video. But yeah, feels nice to be back after not recording anything, or last recording a whole bunch of content down in Houston, Texas, and southeast Texas. Yeah, it is mostly cloudy out right now. It looks like the clouds are maybe starting to clear up a little bit as we head west. So anyway, we're heading west today on M-50. We're continuing the video I did last year where I filmed M-50 going from Telegraph or US-24 all the way over to M-52. So we're continuing M-50 in this video, although a sharp contrast from that video because I filmed the other stretch of M-50 in the summertime. Now I'm filming this in the middle of winter. And we're going to be heading all the way over to I-94 on this. The M-50 will take us all the way into Jackson. But we got a little bit of a ways to go still. Because right now we're in the Irish Hills, which is a hilly region of southern Michigan that starts off west of Clinton and Tecumseh, Michigan. It goes through the northern part of Lenawee County, going to the southwestern part of Washtenaw County. There's not really a sign for it along M-50, but there is if you're driving on Highway 12 going west of M-52. But yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since I've been back from Texas. Or more about that in a second. I think we're about to come into the little town of Tipton. Yep, here we are now. Should probably have some water. I have not had a drink of water yet on this drive, even before starting this video. That's not a good idea. Okay. That's better. But yeah, Tipton's not very large at all. It's it's small to be just to be like a small village, but still, it's enough of a village to where it has its own post office. Oh, I gotta be careful here. Yeah, the trucks look like he's heading the opposite direction on M-50, going toward Tecumseh. Yeah, Tipton's not really all that big. But yeah, this is the first time I filmed any video in almost 3 weeks, because that was when I was coming back from Houston. Because for that trip, I drove down, so I drove across the country. Thankfully, the weather was very cooperative coming back, although it ran into a lot of rain in Arkansas, southeast Missouri, and southern Illinois. But could have been worse. It could have been snow. And oh, there is a sign for the Irish Hills. Okay, so yeah, that's good. Because yeah, I think the last driving video I did film was one heading on I-69 heading out of Indianapolis. Because although I've been editing all my videos, of course, it's I've been kind of on on a 2 or 3 week hiatus from filming anything, just to give myself a break. Although a little fun fact, I even if I wasn't playing a filming hiatus, I pretty much had no choice because I actually ended up getting COVID. What's the date today? About a week and a half ago. Because yeah, I was starting to feel like I was coming down with a cold, like almost to this day 2 weeks ago, and because yeah, it's like I had cold-like symptoms, but also had some body aches too. So I was like, yeah, this is probably COVID, but so it's like I ended up getting like a PCR test just to make sure, and indeed it was. So, but yeah, it's like it was just ended up just being like a bad cold for me. Which thankfully, because my job, I'm able to do my stuff remotely. I was able to be remote all of that week while I was recuperating. But yeah, it's like it was pretty. I'd say it was pretty mild, although it's like again, to me, it just felt like a bad cold. Although I think I've had a couple of colds that have been worse than that. But that's the thing about the virus, is that it affects everybody differently. But yeah, I'm very thankful though I did not lose my sense of taste or smell or anything like that, because that would have been awful. Because you know me, I love food. And yeah, I was able to keep up a pretty good appetite too during it. Which, yeah, I guess you can tell I'm all better now, so, because otherwise I would not be doing this right now. But although it's like every time I get any type of a cold though, it's like I always have this lingering cough though. It's usually just because there's still could be like mucus or something like that is still trying to exit out of me. So because I have to clear my throat, so you might hear that every once in a while in this video, but like that, for example. Although I tend to do that a lot of times anyway when I talk for a long period of time. Now the sun's starting to come out. But yeah, I know like with the like it's almost close to the very end of January 2022 right now. It's like I know because yeah, Michigan got pretty badly affected by the Omicron wave, which is the current like variant of the virus, and it's like it's a lot milder for what they've said, but of course it's very transmissible. That's why I end up getting it. But it's like, although it's milder, but of course it's still, especially for if you're way up there in age, like in your 70s and 80s, and you have a lot of underlying health conditions, it's like you can have an increased risk of having severe illness, which ends up landing you in the hospital. Thankfully, they got treatments now. I'm not going to go into any details about that because I am not a doctor. But yeah, thankfully things are getting better here now. But yeah, it was like the crazy thing is I never got sick at all in 2021. Like the last time I've got sick was March 2020, and that was like just before the pandemic started, and I'm having I had like another cold, which yeah would not have been COVID back then, because that what I had, because the virus was more, I'd say, more severe back in its early days compared to it now. Especially primarily for like younger people. But it's like, yeah, never got sick at all in 2021, which is unusual because I usually average 1 or 2 colds a year. So yeah, the fact I didn't get anything in 2021, yeah, it's like it's kind of surprised a little bit. But I'm not complaining though. before I continue on, it's like, yeah, right here, this is the intersection with Onstead Highway. If you make a left, you'll go into like the small little village of Onstead. It's like another little small village, kind of like Tipton. And then, yeah, you may have seen it before the intersection with Onstead Highway. You might start seeing signs that says MIS, or like it's an abbreviation. MIS stands for Michigan International Speedway. We won't be going by it on M-50, but we'll be getting really close to it. The Michigan International Speedway is the big NASCAR racetrack, or the big racetrack here in the state of Michigan that I believe NASCAR has a race once a year, which is out in Brooklyn, Michigan. So, like, if you're coming from, let's say if you're going to the Michigan International Speedway and you're coming from Ohio, like Toledo, you basically would be taking 23, and then you'd be getting off at M-50 down in like the Dundee area, and then heading this way, like what we're doing right now. Yeah, it is a cold day out today. Like, my car thermometer right now is reading 14 degrees Fahrenheit, which converted that to Celsius, that's -10. But yeah, I'd say January's been pretty chilly, although definitely not the coldest January though, or I don't think even the top 10 coldest. But yeah, as you can tell, yeah, there's plenty of snow on the ground right now. I think the entire state of Michigan right now is snow covered. And we'll be getting a quick warm up on Tuesday, like going above freezing, but then it's going to go right back down again with the potential snowstorm. So the snow here in Michigan is not going anywhere, probably for weeks at a minimum. All right, so here we have the intersection with Highway 12. Highway 12 is a major east and west highway which goes through the southern part of Michigan. Oh yeah, if you wanted to go to the Michigan International Speedway, you probably would have wanted to make a left turn at Highway 12 there. Go about another couple miles, and then there's a road, I think it's might be Brooklyn Road if I'm not mistaken, and then I'll take you right by the Speedway. But Highway 12 going east takes you to Clinton and then to Saline, and then eventually goes toward the Ypsilanti area. Before continuing into downtown Detroit, Highway 12 west. Oh yeah, although I don't know if you'd be able to see it from this GoPro, yeah, I can see the stands for the Speedway off to the left. Oh, okay. So you can't get to the... So yeah, if you're going to the Michigan International Speedway, you can get to it from M-50. Because yeah, there's the entrance right there. So don't forget what I said earlier. Just stay on M-50 if you want to go to the Speedway. Alright, we are now entering Jackson County. Oh, yeah, but here's the River Raisin. So it's pretty cool how the River Raisin's a very small river out here. It looked very narrow here compared to if you drive over it in, well, for sure Monroe, but also like Dundee and those communities. But anyway, Highway 12 going west takes you out to Coldwater, and then eventually toward like the Niles area before heading over to the Lake Michigan coast, heading down to Michigan City, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, before heading out to the Chicago area. It was the original highway which took you to Chicago before they built I-94. be momentarily be coming into Brooklyn. But yeah, here's Brooklyn Road. Brooklyn Road also has the other entrance for the Michigan International Speedway. Yeah, we're starting to come into Brooklyn now because I can see the water tower for Brooklyn, and I can see, and of course there's a bunch of businesses along the highway here. But yeah, I have not been through Brooklyn yet. I've been by the Michigan International Speedway before, but I've not been in Brooklyn itself yet. Probably should check it out more thoroughly sometime, though. Alright, and yep, now we're entering the village of Brooklyn. Got a lot of businesses. Got a Big Boy, McDonald's, Subway. Yep, even a Dollar General, and then yeah, now we're coming to the main part of the village. Nice village, I have to say. Oh yeah, look at this. Yep. Very nice downtown area. Just gotta get past this intersection, and yeah, pretty cool how they have the little island in the middle. Yeah, you just gotta love these small Michigan towns and villages. It's just, they all have their unique character to them. And yeah, much larger post office for Brooklyn compared to Tipton. Yeah, we should be now getting out of Brooklyn now. Yep, 4 miles to the next village, which is Napoleon, and then 15 miles to Jackson. But yeah, what's interesting is that once you get toward like the end of that intersection with Onset Highways, like M-50 starts to go more north and south, going through Brooklyn, and then once you get toward Napoleon, then it's gonna start heading west again, and then it's like generally going like northwest on its way to Jackson. Because M-50 goes all the way up to, it eventually ends at I-96 to the east of the Grand Rapids area. So I would say M-50 is mainly a west and east trunk line, but it technically goes more northwest and southeast, depending on which direction you're driving in. But yeah, with all the snow on the ground, it's definitely a contrast to the driving videos I filmed out in Houston, where it was very green. I'm still shivering to this weather. I've adjusted a little bit more back to this again, but it's like I'd still rather be in the nice warm weather right now, but oh well. But yeah, the Irish Hills is a really nice area. They got these nice rolling hills. nothing super hilly or anything for the most part, but yeah, nice rolling hills. Of course, lots of farmland, as you can tell. But yeah, this is basically a common scene throughout southern Michigan. These nice little rolling hills with a lot of farmland. And then, of course, periodically you'll come into different, like, wooded areas too. Yep, we're in Napoleon Township. We'll be coming into Napoleon about another maybe mile and a half or something. Maybe less than that, I don't know. Oh, that's pretty cool. You got, yeah, Chicago Road to the right. That's a little shortcut to head back over to I-94. Okay, yeah, now we're starting to come into the Napoleon area now. Okay, so yeah, now we gotta basically make a left turn up here, although it's still part of the same road. Oh yeah, Grass Lake. I remember. Yeah, so yeah, I gotta make a left turn to go on to stay on M-50. So we are now in Napoleon. So if you were to go the other direction, that would take over to Grass Lake, which, yeah, I remember doing that one video in Grass Lake last year in May. Grass Lake's a nice little community. It's like that Catholic church there was really cool, where they have the outdoor, where they can hold outdoor mass. Obviously not this time of the year, but when it's nice and warm out, that'd be pretty cool. As you can tell, Napoleon is not all that big. I'd say it's smaller compared to Brooklyn. Another 11 miles to go till we get to Jackson. So now we're going more to the northwest compared to north and south. But yeah, I'd say, yeah, during my filming hiatus, which of course is now over because I'm filming this video today, it's like, yeah, just been working pretty much and then just taking it easy. And of course watching the NFL playoffs right now. So although of course by the time this video goes up, the Super Bowl will have ended already, but it's like, as I'm recording this video, it's like we're down to 4 teams. Like, you got the NFC Championship, which is between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers, and then the AFC Championship with the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. And yeah, what's pretty cool is that with the Rams, Matthew Stafford is the quarterback for the Rams, which before this current season, he used to be the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. And what's pretty cool is that he could potentially get to his first Super Bowl or even win his first Super Bowl, which he was not able to do with the Lions, because the Lions, if they even make a playoff game, they can never win one. But it's like, it's pretty interesting. Like, when the star of the team leaves a Detroit team, they go on and win a championship. We'll see if that happens with Matthew Stafford, just because that happened with Justin Verlander with the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit's Major League Baseball team. The Tigers, I think, when Verlander was pitching for the Tigers, he did reach the World Series, I think, twice with the Tigers, but they lost pretty badly in the World Series, to where they either got swept or they won maybe one game. And then Justin Verlander left for the Houston Astros, and then the Astros ended up winning the World Series. Although, of course, I think the World Series win had a lot of controversy behind it, though. Yeah, I gotta slow down really slowly to get around. That's probably smart of the police officer to do the traffic stop from the passenger side, just because this road's, it's not narrow, but it's a pretty busy road. But yeah, it's like, it's quite possible for Matthew Stafford to do the same thing for football. But yeah, it's like Detroit with their sports teams right now, it's like they've been pretty bad. The Lions, of course, have been bad for a long time, although they've had a couple seasons in the past decade or something like that where they've either they maybe have just made the playoffs, but of course they lose the first game. Although I do think that the one playoff game they played against Dallas, I think there's been talk that the refs heavily favored the Cowboys, though. The Tigers are still kind of rebuilding right now. They had a better season than they have the past few seasons, though. So maybe that's a positive sign that they could be getting better. The Red Wings are showing some promise. They're not doing too bad this year. They still may not make the playoffs, but they're not that. If they don't make it, they're not, unless they get really bad the rest of the season, they're not that far out of it. Where like the last couple seasons or so, they were either close to rock bottom or at rock bottom. But I know the general manager of the Red Wings, Steve Yzerman, who of course used to be a legendary captain for the Detroit Red Wings, he's doing a good job rebuilding the team so that the Red Wings can get back to being playoff contenders again. It's like if the Colorado Avalanche can do that, so can the Red Wings. In fact, the Red Wings need to soon, so that way the Red Wings and the Avalanche can meet each other in the Stanley Cup Finals. That'd be like the old days when they were bitter rivals during the play, and like not just the playoffs but the regular season. So, and hopefully the Red Wings can win the Stanley Cup win a new Stanley Cup before the Avalanche do. And the Detroit Pistons, they've been rebuilding for a long time. They're doing terribly right now. But yeah, before you know, hopefully like one of the teams starts to get better and better or something. But yeah, only time will tell, though. Okay, so we're about to get to an interesting part of M-50. Because so far it's been kind of linear, although we had to make that left turn in Napoleon. So we're about to come up to the interchange with Highway 127. Which Highway 127, around here, it's where the freeway portion of it begins. Because if you go south on Highway 127 at this intersection, it no longer is a freeway, but it begins as a freeway here. However, we're not getting on 127. Like, you'll see that momentarily. So this is the on-ramp from 127. If you go to the left, you'll be getting on the 127. To stay on M-50, you have to take this right ramp here. But yeah, not only this is M-50, but this is also Business Highway 127. This is, if you're going north on 127 from like the southern part of the state, like toward like the Hudson area, or if you're coming up from Adrian via 223, which then ends at 127, this is the way to go if you're going into Jackson, because we're going under the overpass for 127. But yeah, as you can tell, we're still out in the countryside, but we'll be coming to Jackson in the next few miles. So yeah, we will for sure be seeing a huge difference in the scenery. Yeah, definitely need to film a video in Jackson sometime. I've walked around downtown Jackson before. It's a nice city. Like, I remember seeing a lot of cool street art throughout the city. Although I've not been to this part of Jackson yet. This is like the southeastern part of the city. Although technically this is still the outskirts. Huh. West Texas Barbecue Company. Interesting. Yeah, it's like now we got a traffic light here because yeah, looks like we're about to come into the city limits for Jackson after we pass up this traffic light. Okay, and we're entering the city of Jackson, and according to that sign, it's birthplace of the Republican Party. Which, and that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to start I don't want political comments in this video. Any comments bashing one another will be deleted. You have been warned. As we start coming into Jackson, yeah, we'll start to see a lot more traffic lights. Did I just say that already? Cascade Falls Park. I'll have to remember that if I do a video here in Jackson. Yeah, see a lot of residential neighborhoods off to the left there. And yeah, I can see some of the buildings for downtown Jackson now. Yeah, definitely want to get around this UPS truck. Oh yeah, especially since the light just turned green. Oh yeah, all the small skyscrapers, I have to say, like, but still taller buildings. Although it's like I don't even know what's considered a skyscraper. I don't know how tall a building has to be called a skyscraper. Alright, so we're coming up to the intersection with M-106 and also business I-94. So to continue on M-50, we got to... Oh, you have to... I don't know if I have to... So yeah, how this is working, because the left turn is a blinking red arrow, so that's basically a stop sign, which is very confusing, but... Because, yeah, they do that because you have the actual red light here. So, yeah, to continue on M-50, you basically do what I'm just doing now, and then, yeah, this is the continuation of M-50. If I would have continued straight at that intersection where I had that blinking left turn light, which was still a blinking red light even when the main road was a full red light, that would continue to M-106, which heads up toward like Michigan State Prison and that area, heading all the way up toward Stockbridge and then Gregory, Michigan. And downtown Jackson is off to the left. You also got the farmers market there, although it's from June to October. And yeah, we just went over the Grand River too, which is the longest river in the state of Michigan. Yeah, we're not getting lucky with these traffic lights. Yeah, see, yeah, quite a bit of cars parked over in some of the parking lots for Jackson, over in the downtown area. Got lucky with that traffic light that was just turning yellow as I went through the light. Kept saying we're now heading toward like the western part of Jackson, and yeah, these time lights terribly. So technically, if you want to continue on M-50 going to I-94, this is not the fastest way. You would have wanted to make a right turn at Wildwood back there, because it's a little shortcut going, like coming around this part. Like Wildwood takes you right by Jackson High School. Because what happens that at this traffic light up ahead, this is where M-50 continues to the north along this road here. And then Wildwood meets up with this road, which is West Avenue. So if I wasn't doing this video to stay true to M-50, this would basically be a slower way. Although thankfully the light just turned green. Because yeah, here is Wildwood again, and yeah, this is where this was pretty much a waste of time, because yeah, we're having to stop at this light. I'd probably be turning at this light right now if I would have done the shortcut. So we should have about another couple miles or so to go before we get to the end of the video. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to do this video now and not later in the year is because they're currently either doing or they're about to do a big construction project at the interchange with 127, M-50, and I-94. Because they're doing like a total reconstruction of it. And I have no idea if they're planning to close down M-50 as a part of the project, so it's like I figured to film this video now, I better come out today. Oh, cool, you got a really big water tower for Jackson. Jackson, yeah, founded 1829. And yeah, it's like with all these red lights on this road, it's making you pay for having to stay on M-50 and not taking that shortcut. Although thankfully the light didn't last too long. And yeah, over here you got a lot of like chain restaurants: Subway, Papa John's Pizza, Arby's, McDonald's, Popeyes, not even a Burger King. Long John Silver's, but I don't see that too much. IHOP. And of course you got your different pharmacies like Walgreens here. But yeah, this is kind of like the big business district for Jackson. There's a lot of stuff going along this road and then up at I-94 itself, which we're coming to the interchange, and then yeah, we're gonna start seeing it. And yeah, they're already doing some road work, and I'm gonna have to get over. Because what happens at this interchange beyond I-94, M-50 continues a little bit further, and then there's an exit where M-50 continues its way northwest. Because what happens at this interchange is where 127 continues north, because it comes off of I-94 from the east as a bypass of Jackson. And 127 continues north from this interchange as a freeway going all the way up toward Lansing. And of course you got I-94 going east and west here. So yeah, 127 south, yeah, you go east, and then there's another exit for 127 south. Going back to where we were earlier before we got into Jackson. But yeah, you can see the big project that they're starting up here. So yep, we have reached the end of this M-50 video. M-50 does continue, but yeah, we'll be stopping this video because yeah, we're only going from M-52 all the way to I-94 in this video. So I hope you enjoyed this video of M-50. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the subscribe button to I'll come along and join you for the adventure. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman, signing out.